What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. You got myself, Tommy. Look, as you can see, is me by myself today. Adi and Ham is not here. Just cut long story short. Look, the podcast is no more. I don't want to say never, but for now, the podcast is definitely no more. The boys are taking a break. Um, Whether they'll come back or not, don't know. Actually, look, in terms of Ade, actually, tell a lie. I know Ade says he's gonna jump back on when he can. I don't know how often, but he will jump back on, jump on like on the channel whenever he can. So I'll speak to him in regards to that. So like, don't be surprised if you see Ade on. In terms of like, obviously, like the content is like it will obviously will be definitely be different. As you can see, is a home setup. I'm still trying to get used to it all. Obviously, in a sense that it's my first time speaking to camera by myself, talking football by myself. Um, I'm trying to be as creative as possible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how good I'm doing. You can see from the backdrop, but hopefully I'll get better as time goes on. And and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just bear with me. The difference is it won't be a weekly podcast. I'll try and drop more often during the course of the week. Um, Once again, I don't know how often, but I will obviously map that out. In terms of the content I'll be putting out, there will be more. Will still be like you still get the match reaction, predominantly Manchester United. I will do the traditional top six. Not every single game, but majority of the games, I'll still do match reactions for those. Um, Try and do what do you call it? Is it live view, live watch, or watch along? Yeah, that's what it's called. So I'll try and do watch along now that I'm at home. So try and do watch along when I can. I'll do more like game analysis, like a bit more details on like player profile, and potentially like more on fantasy football. I can't really promise you exactly what I'll be, or not promise, but I can't really give too much detail what I'm going to do. But it's all the things that I've been thinking about and like mapping out before dropping this video. The reason why I wanted to drop this video now is because obviously it's International Week, and I wanted to do like a quick preview or like the first three games, like the summer transfer window, before I go like into a lot more details in my like later video. You probably all have seen it already. I did drop a video with like Manny on it was on his channel and also drop on our channel, where I went into a little bit more detail about like the summer transfer window, the players that we brought in. That was prior to the season. Obviously, the season starting now, so I'll be able to give a bit more insight. I'll also go into like my top four predictions and relegation prediction in this video. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. As I said, look, just bear with me, uh, as I'm obviously as this is new to me, but I will obviously improve as time goes. The more videos I drop, I will definitely improve. And yeah, and also I'll definitely try and get more. I'll collaborate with a lot of people, so I will get a lot of guests on. So don't be surprised if you see a guest like almost every week. I just need to make sure I plan this properly so I can get guests on quite regularly. So I will try and get guests on as much as I can, just to give you a bit more insight on like other teams and yeah and so forth, pretty much. So yeah, I'll try and get guests on as much as I can. In regards to like today's video, look, I've also got like notes. The difference the difference now is that because I'm doing about this by myself, I've got two screens. So if I'm looking at this screen, it just basically means I'm going through like the notes of the things that I'm going to talk about today. So yeah, look, Manchester United, really, I'm going to go through like the season so far. So what I think what I'm going to do is I'll start off with our summer's transfer window. Yeah, if I have to give it a mark out of 10, I'll give it 6.57. More, probably around a 7, but 6.57. Yeah, not a solid 7, but yeah, let's just call it seven. Let's just call it seven. I am happy with the players that we brought in. The only one I'm not too sure about is the goalkeeper. Um, in terms of like let's start with the first two, Cunha and then Bemo. Um, those are solid signing. They're well proven in the Premier League, and they haven't just been playing well last season. They've had like two to three good solid season in the Premier League, and they've continuously improved during those seasons. So I'm quite pleased we brought them in. If there's anything we've been lacking in the team over like the last, well, even not, I was gonna say over the last few years, post like Fergie, would be goals. Um, both players are proving that they can score goals, and like the hope is that both players do score goals. So I was quite pleased to bring in those two players. I think everyone know enough about those two players, so there's no point really go into those two players. The hope is that they're settling well, which I feel like they're doing already. They both had a preseason under their belt, and in terms of like performances, I think they've started off well, but a lot of it is not translating into like the goals and assists that we want. And hopefully, like as long as they're consistent with that performance level, that we do get that from them. So yeah, like I'm definitely if it was just those two signing, I probably would have given it like an 8 out of 10. Um, so then the striker. So obviously, then we had a situation where we either bring in a striker or bring in like a midfielder. I remember speaking about this to a few people. I'll be honest with you, I wanted a striker instead of a midfielder. I do believe if you look at our team and over the last few years, one thing we do a lot is we create a lot of chances. Defensively, we're not the best, but we don't concede a lot of goals. We're probably like a not average Premier League team. I'll say like when it comes to like conceding goals. Some seasons we have good defensive records, some seasons we don't, but it's nothing horrendous. It's nothing that we can't handle. I think it consistently what we've struggled at is scoring goals. So hence the reason why I prefer the striker instead of midfielder. Um, if you've got the midfield in place, you can control a game all you want. If you're not getting goals, we're not winning games. If you get defenders in place, whatever it is, we can keep as much clean sheet as we want. If we're not scoring goals, we're not winning games. Ultimately, um, the purpose of the game is to score goals, and in order to win games, you have to score goals. So yeah, like, so I thought for now where Manchester United are currently at, I thought a striker was important. Did we get the striker we want? No, because I had like a short list of strikers that I want, and I had four players in my short list in order. So the order that I had was I had Joker as a number one, which obviously he went to Arsenal. Number two was Ekitike. He went to Liverpool. Number three I had was Mateta. I thought it was going to be a struggle getting Mateta because obviously Palace was going to let go of like Eze, and potentially they were supposed to let go of Mark Gay as well, but he obviously didn't go. Um, so I thought it was going to be a struggle getting him. And my fourth option was Watkins. I didn't even have Sesko in my list. It's not that I don't think Sesko's not a good player, but I just thought we need a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, someone that is ready to go. And the other players, obviously, I know like Gyökeres and Ekitike hasn't played in the league, but I just like look, Gyökeres goals speaks for himself. In terms of Ekitike, I just thought Ekitike is a top player, and you can already see a lot of the things that I saw in him. He's already doing it in the Premier League. He's already got 2 goals. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he's already got 2 goals for Liverpool. And Mateta, yeah, once again proven in the Premier League. and Watkins as well, proven in the Premier League. I do. I think obviously the the first two options was gone because they went to another team, which leaves Mateta and Watkins. Mateta, I thought that was going to be it was going to be a hard buy. I don't think they will let him go. And in terms of Watkins, I think Villa were just outpricing him. And whether Villa regrets that or not is entirely up to them. But 60 plus million on a 29-year-old in the Premier League, we've made that mistake with like the Casemiro. No, I wouldn't say Casemiro is a mistake, but we spend a lot of money on like players that are Asian, and not much. We don't get any much value from them. Even if you look at like the example like Ireland, despite his situation hasn't worked out, we're still able to like send him out on loan, and potentially we're going to get like 40 million from him. So yeah, so I understand why they went for like the younger option. And yes, Sesko is a good player, but how long is he going to take before he gets up and running? I can see from like the first few games, he is struggling with the game physically, struggling with the pace of the game. In terms of attributes, from what I've seen of him, I do believe he's got the attributes. I know it's not what fans wants to hear, but we're just gonna have to be patient with him. Where I didn't mind that signing was because of the first two signings we got with Mbemo and Cunha. Hopefully, those two take the pressure off him, and eventually he gets going within the next 3-4 games. Hopefully, like I'll give him another. I think we got another 4 games again before international. So hopefully, and once after after the next international, once he gets back, I will hopefully think that he gets going. Yeah, look, it's not ideal because we need goals, but we're just gonna have to deal with what we've got so far. So yeah, that's Sesko. In terms of like the last signing, which obviously we got through deadline day, was a keeper. I am just not too sure with a keeper. 23-year-old keeper, still young. Obviously, no experience in the Premier League, no experience in the top 5 league. It's gonna be a massive struggle. Like being a Manchester United goalkeeper is probably one of the hardest like role in the team. And we've struggled post De Gea. And I know a lot of people was moaning about letting De Gea go, but let's be honest, when towards the end, like the last 2-3 years De Gea gave us, he also wasn't good enough along those years. And we struggled to obviously replace the good years of De Gea. With the interest on Martinez and Martinez willing to come, I would like prefer to do the Martinez deal instead rather than the young goalkeeper. Look, the decision made, we'll see, but I definitely do not agree with that. I would have gone with the Martinez deal. That's the only like in terms of like the summer transfer window. That's my only gripe really. I'm happy with Sesko. I'm happy with like the other 2 players. Obviously, we got the left back as well. I know I haven't mentioned them, but he's a young player, so I don't really expect to see him much. Diogo Leon, I don't really expect to see him much this season anyway. But in terms of like the goalkeeper, Lemens, he's still quite young as well, and I'm just not ready. I'm not sure whether he's ready to go straight into the team. The sensible choice would have been to go to Martinez. Why they didn't go for Martinez, I don't get. I don't know whether the price that Villa was asking for was too much, or I just don't like. To be honest with you, like I don't really care, man, in regards to this situation. Given like what we've been through with our goalkeepers and almost every single game this season, the keepers have made a mistake. Like Martinez was just the like logical choice. Why we didn't go for Martinez, I don't know. We just have to move on with it. But apart from like that signing, like I'm relatively pleased with the signing. Let's see how these players get on. I would love to get at minimum say 30 to 35 goals between Cunha, Mbemo, and Sesko this season. Like we would need, yeah, I think we'll need their goals. It's just important for us to get goals. And like thankfully, obviously, Mbemo's got going. He's got 2 goals in his last 2 games. We just need Cunha. Cunha's been like his performance has been outstanding. It's just the only thing he's missing is just the goals. So hopefully, like he gets the ball in the back of the net soon. Hopefully, his injury is not too bad and he's back soon. So yeah, well, hopefully Cunha can get going with these goals, and it's just really Sesko. He hasn't really got going at the moment, but we, as I said, we just got to be patient with him. And the keeper situation, like hopefully Lemens, hopefully he's a good keeper. Like Bayandea is not a keeper. It's like I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm not sure if he's a human being at the moment. I don't. Yeah, I don't want Bayandea. I'm hoping like they're buying Lemens for Lemens to start because there's no way we should be starting Bayandea. It shouldn't even be like a number 2 United keeper. It shouldn't be 3 or 4 United keeper. I don't rate him at all. It's just it's I can say everything. Like there's just too much mistake in him. He's clumsy. It's like he doesn't come out and claim the ball. Like look, I just don't rate him at all. So hopefully Lemens is there ready to start. I don't want him sitting on the bench because yeah, we're in trouble if he's buying that's starting against City on Sunday. But look, that's the summer signing for now. We move on with the summer signing. I'll go into a lot more detail during the course of the season, just to weigh up how each signing is getting on. Yeah, and yeah, that's it for now. What next? Yeah, like a quick review of like the season so far. No, I'll be honest with you. Take the Grimsby game aside, I think we've had like obviously like it's hard. Like don't get me wrong, it's hard to take the Grimsby game aside. But apart from the Grimsby game, I think we've had like a good start to the season. I'm pleased with the start we've had to the season. Like 4 points, yeah, like decent points. If you look at what what the rest of the league has got, apart from Liverpool, I don't think anyone's still got 100% record. So yeah, relatively pleased. Like, but obviously there's still errors there. Like it's just small improvements from last season. It's not where we need to. I think what I'm pleased is the fact that we are creating chances. Like we're creating lots of chances. But we're just missing chances. They're just missing chances. We're starting like in terms of like the Premier League games, we're starting the games well as well. Like in all 3 games, we start the games well. It's only like second half, like the Fulham game and the Burnley game, where performance went down, started going downhill. In terms of like the Arsenal game, we performed well throughout the whole game. We couldn't get the goal. It is what it is. Like I thought that game was going to be a draw. Going into that game, I predicted the draw, but Arsenal won. Gave Arsenal credit. Like when you play, I always say anyway, when like the traditional big 6 play themselves, I don't really give a damn how you play. The most important thing is just to win the game. Oh yeah, and that's exactly what Arsenal did, man. Like for first game of the season, going away from home to get 3 points, like credit to them, well done. We move on from that for like United. Yeah, I'm pleased with the performance. We didn't get the points. We move on. I was hoping like they were able to like transform that performance into like the Fulham game, which they did in the first half. They started off really well. We could have got 2 or 3 in the first half. We didn't. Second half, like we went great in the second half. Like I think Fulham probably had like Fulham. We had a good first half. Fulham had a good second half. Yeah, look, 1-1 was probably like a fair result in that game. And in terms of like the Berlin game, once again in the first half, we could have run away with the game. We didn't. We let them back into it. But I did think like it was a necessity for us to win that game, and I'm glad we did, especially before international break. So yeah, look, I'll take that 3 points. As long as we're scoring goals, we score 3 goals in that game, so that's good. And I think that's what we need to focus on this season. We need goals. We're not going to get nowhere. We're not going to improve if we don't get goals. The most important thing this season for the players is to get goals. As I said, like, we don't ready for pretty much all the time. We create a lot of chances. Not so much obviously in the big games, but we do create chances. But it's just we just don't score enough. So we need to hopefully score more goals this season. The Grimsby game, that was just a nightmare. That's just, I don't like, there was no excuse for that. That shouldn't be happening. That performance, I just thought, is as if the players wanted the manager to get sacked with that performance. And like, obviously, like, the manager came out like quite emotional by the end of the game, shall I say, which is something where we know him to be anyway. But look, I'm not going to speak too much on the manager for now. I'm going to do another video in regards to the manager, what my thoughts are on the manager, and how long I'm willing to give him. If you're asking me, do I want the manager to stay? Just to give you a quick answer, yes. I do think he should stay, but I'll go into a lot more details in terms of the manager. Like, and I know a lot of people have been complaining about him changing his formation, all those kind of things, but that's for another day. But in regards to like the team, look, it hasn't been a bad start to the season. It is Manchester United. Every time we lose or draw a game, there's going to be overreaction. We do have like a difficult start to the season, and I don't mind that, because the last thing I want is for us to start papering over the cracks. So if we are going to like shit this season, let us be shit. Let us know from the get-go. So I want the players to be tested from the get-go, and I think the players tend to slack off a lot of the time. So I do think if we get this games, this will get them like riled up for like the season, and this is the type of games that they will want. And I'm not sure whether, obviously, yes, like, we don't want too many hard games, but look, let's see where let's see if there's any improvement from last season. Let the players test themselves against the best teams in the league, and hopefully we get something out of it. So far, 4 points from a possible 9, comparing to where we were last season. We'll take it for now. We'll see what the next 4 games gives us before international. Yeah, look, you're going to be hearing from me throughout. I hope we get something from it, but I'll go into those games in more detail down the line. And in terms of like prediction for the season, look, just aligning it with like our start of the season. One thing, just to go into a bit more, like, just go into a bit of stats. So, well, according to the Premier League website anyway, so our XG is like 6.78, so which is the highest of the league so far. Compared to the team that have scored the most goals in the league at the moment is Liverpool, which is half of that, that's 3.43. What it does show, as I was saying, is that we are creating chances, so we should be scoring goals, which also highlight that like our performance hasn't been a disaster. Yes, the Grimsby result performance and result was a disaster, but in terms of the Premier League results, hasn't been a disaster. So I do think like we can, like we got to improve it. Like, what scares me is the goal scorer. We just have to score goals. If we can score goals, I think we'll finish within top 6 to top 8. Top 6 to top 8. I think the top 4 is cemented. I'll give you like my top 4 prediction in a bit. I don't think the top 4 will change from what it is last season. I think the competition will be from 5th to like 10th. So we're going to be competing with the likes of Newcastle, Spurs, Villa, Brighton, Palace. I'm not sure if there's anyone else that I'm missing out. Those are the teams that we're going to be competing with. Last season, like, there weren't much in between all this team that was competing from like 5th to like 10th. I think from like 5th to 10th last season, I think it was just 10 points in between them. I think I got this. Yeah, it was 10 10 points in between them. And that's the same difference between like first and second. So like if we're among like these teams, we have a good chance of finishing like top 6 to top 8. Even like I won't put top 5 past us, because the teams that we're going to be competing with, some of them haven't made signings. Like obviously like Villa's made late signings towards the end of the transfer window. They haven't started off too great. So they obviously need to pick up form. Spurs have made some signings towards the end. Newcastle have eventually made some signings towards the end. And who else is there? These are the teams I don't like I don't think our team is far off from this team's. And I do think obviously what is against us is our performance last season, how the players react going into each game. And I think it's the players' mentality really that they struggle with. So in terms of like of my prediction for United, I'll go with like top 6 to top 8. We'll see how that plans out. But I do think there should be an improvement for last season. I expect an improvement for last season. And the reason why I'm saying top 6, top 8 is because I don't think the teams from last season squad is significantly better than Manchester United squad. Obviously, the second thing is whether like the manager gets the squad playing or not. And another thing that may play to our favor is that a lot of these teams are playing European football. We saw what Newcastle was like the year that they went into the Champions League. Villa obviously are into Europa League this year. They were in the Champions League last year. They still managed to get 6th last year. They're in the Europa League this year and playing Thursday to Sunday. Those games are not easy. So all these things can play into our hands. We got to do our job. The manager's got to do his job. Look, I don't think I'll go into the manager in another video, but the manager don't really have much excuses, and so far, like I think they've done well. I don't really want to start going into each game. We just got to understand where we were last season, and fans shouldn't just be asking for far too much too early. 4 points out of 9 so far is reasonable, decent enough compared to what we were with 15 last season. So as long as there's small changes, incremental changes in each and every game, hopefully we start picking up the points. And hopefully like we just got to sustain the performance level. If you can sustain the performance level, the points will come, the goals will come, everything will come with it. So yeah, that's why I think we'll finish off 6 to 8. Whether or not we finish there, we'll see. I'm not going to change that. That's why I said going into the season, I'm going to stick with that and see where we do finish up at the end of the season. So look, that's Man United for now. I will go into more Manchester United in another video. As I said, the managers are going to the players. You're going to get like match reaction for me. I'll also preview a lot of the games. I'll probably try and preview like the Manchester derby. So yeah, that's all for now for Manchester. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything out. If there is any questions you have for me, please comment on the page, ask the questions, and then I'll answer them next time I jump on the channel. Okay, cool. My top 4 prediction. So this is wild, yeah, because I'll be honest with you. At the start of the season, I couldn't pick between Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. At the start of the season, I couldn't pick between these 3 teams. And what I did, this is before Isak was signed, this is before the ball was kicked. At the start of the season, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with Man City. I went with Man City because it's Pep. Pep hasn't gone like more than 2 seasons without winning the league. I I thought they signed the right players. The only thing I was a bit skeptical about was the defense. So look, I just went with Man City, and I know they won out the World Club Championship early, but the games that I did watch of them, I just thought it might help them. For it might help Pep particularly, just for him to streamline his squad, um, take a look at all the players, decide who wants, who doesn't want. And I thought that competition was going to help him. So look, I went for City at the beginning of the season. Because I've gone for City at the beginning of the season, now obviously in my mind, I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to say I don't think they're going to win it, but things have changed. Liverpool signed Isak. Arsenal started off well. So things have changed, but just because there's only 3 games in the season, I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to stick to my predictions. I'm going to go with City first. I review it again in like December, January. But at the moment, like, it doesn't look like they might get top 4 with a performance level, but we'll see anyway. I'll still stick with them for City for now. Second, I've got Liverpool, and third, I got Arsenal, and fourth, I got Chelsea. As I said, look, I don't think there'll be much different between those 3 teams anyway. So if any of those 3 teams win it, I won't be surprised. Those 3 teams have spent money in the summer. Those 3 teams have top managers. Those 3 teams' managers don't have any excuses. So, what the reality is only one of them that's gonna win it. Who wins it, we'll see. But those are my predictions for now in terms of my top 4: City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I do think Chelsea will improve from last season. I just don't think they are quite ready yet. But I do think Chelsea may also challenge. I really like Chelsea's team. The reason why I don't think they can compete with those 3 teams at the moment is their defense. It's just more the core of the defense, the goalkeeper and the 2 centre backs. The 2 centre backs are good centre backs, but it's not enough quality to win the league. They're just like, they're good individually. That I think they don't have like a top centre back. Liverpool's got top centre back. City's got top centre backs. Arsenal's got top centre backs. I just don't think that their players are at their required level to win a league. Look, that's my opinion, and I definitely don't think the keepers at the required level as well. So you can argue that Liverpool and Arsenal have the best 2 keepers in the league. It's up to you to decide who you think is better, Alisson or Reina. I'm sorry, Raya. And CEO just signed Donnarumma, and that's the ruthlessness of like this league. If you want to win the league, they just signed Trafford. They didn't really care. They were to go and sign someone else. So if you want to win the league, and those are the kind of like decisions you've got to make. Look, you can see that I actually got a banner for everything, but you can see that I'm not prepared for things like this because I haven't want to change it. But yeah, I just don't think Chelsea are quite ready for that. But those are my top 4 prediction. We'll revisit them in January, see how that goes, and and then I might change it around. I'll see where C is. As I said, I'll see where C is, and then I might change it around. And last but not least, the last bit I want to cover today is like the relegation prediction. I think Wolves are going this year. I think Wolves are going. They sold 2 solid players from their team. The replacement, I'm not sure whether the replacement will be good enough. Like I can see from the performance this season, they are going to struggle. I think Burnley's going to go as well. And I know a lot of people are saying that Brentford are going to go. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. The reason why I think Brentford will stay, it's not so much of a logical. It's not so much about a footballing reason. Like, it is a footballing reason at the same time. I just think Brentford are run well. Like making Keith Andrews, making him the manager is a risky decision. But I align Brentford operation with like the likes of like Brighton, these teams know what they're doing. Um, so I'm not surprised that they've picked like Keith Andrews as manager. Whether he's successful or not, we'll see whether he's successful or not. Um, yes, they lost their core players. They lost Mbemo, and they lost Wissa as well. Who else did they lose? Did they lose anyone else? I can't remember from the top of my head. They replaced them. Oh yeah, they lost Norgard as well. Obviously, they replaced Norgard with like Anderson with a bit of experience. They replaced the goalkeeper as well. The defense is pretty much the same. They've got Damsgaard, who's a good player, and yeah, it's just wherever they can get. They're probably not going to be able to replace the goals from like Mbemo and Wisa, but I do think they will have enough ahead of everyone else to stay up. Um, I'm not saying they wouldn't struggle. They probably might struggle. I think a lot of those teams there are going to struggle. Um, West Ham as well. A lot of people, I think they might struggle, but I actually think West Ham haven't had a bad, apart from obviously like the Chelsea game when they played Sunderland. They had a good first half or second half. Obviously lost the game in the second half. Um, Chelsea game, yeah, that that wasn't a good game. I think that was a bad performance. I watched them preseason and I thought it was all right preseason. Obviously, they didn't sign much, but I think with Paqueta staying, with Bowen there, I think they have enough quality to stay. I don't really see West Ham getting relegated. I'll be honest with you. Um, so I say Wolves, Burnley, and I think it will be between Sunderland and Leeds. I haven't really picked which one yet. But I'll just say Leeds for now. I'll say Leeds for now. As I said, look, I'm not saying that these guys. I'm not saying it wouldn't be close. I think it will be close. I do think some of the teams that I've mentioned will be in the relegation battle. But these are the three teams that I think will go down. I'm not too sure if I'm missing out on anyone else, but these are the three teams that I've got that will go down. Yeah, look, that's it for now. That's my first video by myself. As I said, look, I'll upload more often. There will be shorter videos. I know I said shorter videos. This one's gone, well, yeah, like 37 minutes or so. This one's gone on for a bit longer than I expected. There will be shorter videos, and it will come quite often. And I'll try and get guests on and different type of content than you are used to. So, but please, what I ask for you, and yeah, I will try and do like something on Amorim as well. But what I'll ask for you, if you can please subscribe. If you're watching this, if you're first time watching this, please subscribe to the channel, share this with friends and family. Yeah, I'm going to try my best to keep going. I really do want to keep going. I'm not going to lie to you. As I said, look, it's a passion of mine. Talking football, watching football and all sorts. So like I just didn't think it was right for me to stop. I didn't have it in me to stop. And so, yeah, I'm just going to continue and see how things goes. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the channels. Share this with your friends and family. And I'll hopefully be back with more videos soon. And I'm out.